What's up, guys? So I told you today I was going to drop a video from my thermal showing a UFO slash orb taking off once it came across a plane. So what I want to do is I just want to go through a few steps of what I actually use to film anything that has heat, especially at nighttime and even during the day, because whatever is up there or even here is not throwing off the same spectrum, or it's cloaking itself, or it's in the infrared spectrum and we can't see it, but they do throw off heat. Again, I go back to they. So there are a few things over the years that I have tried, and a lot of them have worked. You know, you have to start off basic because you don't have a lot of money and you want to try different products. So what I started off with the Android FLIR. Okay, so this just little device just still attaches to my cell phone, and you download the app for it, and it does work pretty good. Granted, I'd rather use it for like a heating system, but to actually use for like UFOs and stuff like that, it doesn't go to the far depths of like, not space because nothing can really be seen out there heat wise. You can get planes and stuff like that, but you can't reach a satellite with a thermal. You can't get Starlink with a thermal. You can't get comets or anything along that line. You can't even see stars with a thermal. So this is the small little attachment that goes to the bottom of your phone. I don't have my phone with me, but this plugs into the bottom. Use the app and you will get thermal imaging off of that. This, I think, nowadays runs probably about $200, somewhere around there. But it's still a device that I keep. I have it put away for now because I don't really use that type of thermal anymore. But it is good to have. So that is one made by FLIR, whatever you want to call it. So after a while, I started to move up and I got into the Scout. Thermal imaging, small little monocular. Let me take this out real quick. It was decent. Again, it's a little higher up than the one that you would use for the cell phone. Comes with a USB cord, blah, blah, blah. But this is the little device that it is. So little monocular, you go outside, poke around, and you can see temperatures, you can see animals, you can see planes. Not too good. There's no resolution is 640, 480, but it's normally 640, 480 on any thermal device, even the really, really expensive ones. The technology is not there yet. Maybe military-wise, but not for the commercial use for the public. So after years and years of using the Scout and the cell phone, I decided that I was going to save up, trade out a few devices that I had, and get something that was really, really worthwhile. Hence is where, put that away in a minute, hence is where I came up with what I use now. This is the Pulsar. It's the Accolade. This thing is amazing. So it records video, 640, 480. It zooms up to 20 times, and it will pick up planes. It will pick up anything that is throwing off heat, white heat, red heat. You can change it to rainbow heat, whatever you want to change it to. You're going to see in the video, I use a lot of red heat because anything that is out there will just automatically just light up a bright red. Or sometimes I'll go white hot, especially during the day if I'm looking in the clouds and stuff like that. So what I have in my hand is my Accolade, okay, made by Pulsar, which is a great company. So is FLIR. But this thing is just phenomenal. You pop this down. There's the bubble for seeing whatever's out there, and it's actually dual. It's not a single, it's dual. So you can actually go through it, and between the power on buttons and the zoom in buttons, and it'll actually give me the degrees of the horizon. So if I want to be 10 degrees, 20 degrees, so on and so forth. I have tried it for Starlink. It will not work. I've tried it for satellites. It will not work. It will only pick up planes and what is somewhat in our atmosphere. So there are a lot of things that hide themselves in our atmosphere, which I have plenty of video for, and you're going to see after this one. Like this one, I'm actually going to put it picture in picture when I do it. But this is definitely something you want to see. This is not a bird. This is not a bug. This is straight up something that was hovering in the sky. And you'll see once it starts going towards the plane, like your plane's over here, you'll see it starting to go this way. But once it notices the plane, it just all of a sudden just takes off, and then it hovers for a little while and then dissipates, goes out, and that's when I just slam the video down. So I will go over this bit by bit and document each piece for you. I did put it into Adobe Premiere and do a few circles. There's actually 2 little orbs on this. So let's get started. We'll get in there, take a look at it. So let's go. See, the white parts are the clouds. There's a chemtrail over there. And then all of a sudden you're going to see that little object that's in purple just take off across the sky. There's a plane there, but this one just dips down and goes into the tree line. So for a little while, I keep scouting the clouds, and along comes is another contrail or chemtrail, whatever you want to call it. All of a sudden, right there is where you see this object just come into frame. Now, again, it's not a bug, it's not a plane, it's zigzagging back and forth. Again, I'm using a handheld device, the thermal, and there's the plane. So once it kind of notices the plane, you can see it all of a sudden just zips and starts going left towards that contrail again, and then we'll go over towards the tree line here. Should be going over there. It's still going. So that's throwing heat off. You can see the heat off of the trees and everything else. Another chemtrail, contrail. And then all of a sudden, yeah, it does edit it and it clips a little bit, but I'll explain to you why it cuts in and out. So right there, and then all of a sudden it just, that's a bug. You can see it go to the tree. All of a sudden from here, you're just going to see it just blinks out. Okay, so round 2, we're going to do this again without me up in the upper right corner. So you're going to see your little object come in here in the purple circle and dip below the tree line. Plane is still in flight. I decided to pan around, go through the clouds a few more times to find anything else that was just hovering or spinning or whatever. And along comes this little dude in the red circle. He is going, I want to say he's headed north, and just kind of hovers for a little while until it sees this airplane in the right side. There it is. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, dude, I'm out. And it just takes off towards the tree line. I'm not sure what this is. It was the shape of an orb, and it just disappeared once it hit this tree line, and I ended the video. I would love to hear your thoughts or comments. Please feel free, put them in the bottom. Let's have a talk about it. If you guys filmed anything or ever seen anything about it, I would love to hear all about it. Again, in the comments, please. Thanks, peeps.